tend to lurk a lot at churches, churchyards, graveyards, and here at Worksop Priory. My visit today to Worksop Priory, almost in the middle of December, is to look for one thing. Might not even be here. The population of Leiobunum species A may well now be long gone after early December's frosts. The predicted rain, which was forecast around 11 o'clock, is 10 minutes early. Although it does appear to have stopped now, but I'm starting on the northern side today and I'm going to work my way round. If there's going to be a Leiobunum species A remaining here, it'll be on the southern side where it does get some shelter and from the winds, but also gain some warmth from the winter sun. Smaller numbers always on this northern side, so I'm getting this bit out of the way first. And now that 11 o'clock rain's started again. But we'll have a quick look. It's not easy looking for a harvestman on a place that's got walls as large as this. But there are tricks of the trade, so to speak. Having the longest knowledge of Leiobunum species A throughout the UK certainly helps. And it's been found on this building since Dillis and I found it back in 2012. We found it originally elsewhere in Worksop 3 years prior to that. So the population on here is now in its 11th year of continuous recording. Over the years, obviously, we've gained quite a bit of knowledge and know all the best places to look, and it's a species which annually produces aggregations in the same parts or same sections of walls of Worksop Priory here. But if you're looking for individual Leiobunum species A, when the weather last night was stormy, to say the least, you need to look harder, look in those cracks and crevices, like in the cracks and sides of those pillars forming these old archways and doorways. They're always a good spot to look, as is underneath the lips, although when it's late like this they're usually well tucked away. Well, the rain's starting to come down sharpish now before it really sets in for the day, which is forecasted. Nothing on the eastern side of the priory, so it's along this southern side. Our best bet for a Leiobunum species A will be behind that old tomb there at the side of the entrance. It's a sheltered spot and it's the best place on the priory to look for Leiobunum species A. Got one. Actually found one. Well, here it is. A rather old and perhaps bedraggled female, but she has been knocking about for quite a long time in terms of a pillion years. Very dark, but it is female, the abdomen is still considerably larger than that of any male Leiobunum species A, but it is amazing considering the weather we've had. We did have about 3 inches of snow last week, and of course several nights of really hard frosts. So I'm surprised that this lady is even here. But I'm very pleased that she is. And still scientifically unnamed as well, even after the first ones appeared out of the blue, so to speak, in Europe in 2004, I think it was. Of course, we found the UK's first in 2009. It's amazing that someone hasn't thought up or decided on a name after all this time. And here's a closer look at this female. Hopefully it's in focus. It looks like it by my eyes, but my eyes aren't the best. They're not what they used to be, and I want my money back. But extremely dark, but you can still see that sort of dark, almost metallic emerald green coloration to the abdomen. When females are freshly molted out into adult, they are beautifully marked, almost with like a marbling of creams and this beautiful dark green. The males have this coloured abdomen once they reach maturity, but likewise in the juvenile and subadult stages they're equally as beautifully marked, and the legs are long and black, and now that they're adult they lack the white knees. It's just brilliant to have found one. I nearly didn't come here today, but I thought I'll give it a go in a brief window of opportunity, and thankfully that rain has stopped for a further minute or two, and it's proved worthwhile. I'm surprised actually that this female is here. Even more surprised because she's kept all 8 legs by this late date. And by the latter stages of maturity of most harvestmen, they lose 1 or 2 legs, but this one has the full 8 legs. Very long legs, although this isn't perhaps the largest or longest legged of females, but she still has a leg span of 4 to 5 inches. They're quite remarkable animals, these, and obviously with such a connection that Dilys and I had to this species, I have a great fondness for Leiobunum species A. Well, it's now got very wet. But it was forecast, but it's now, as you can probably see, starting to come down really heavily, and so we'll leave that Leiobunum species A tucked away in its sandstone crevice. I might pop in again over New Year and see whether she still remains. Hopefully the weather may stay mild. It is mild today, but it'd be nice to see if she can see in the new year.